50 years back in 1964, and it was third five-year plan. Late Biju Patnaik was the Chief Minister here. Government of India and the Planning Commission, first they gave emphasis on agriculture and small-scale industry in the beginning of third five-year plan. By that time, Odisha has more food grain production per hectare than that of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. And by that period, Odisha had a tradition of trade and commerce for 3,000 years. Paradoxically, Odisha became a backward state. Having all feasibility, abundant natural resources, Orias were recognized as the poorest to the poor in the country. With high ambition, let Biju Patnaik start industrialization. Immediately after independence, when he left, when he was released from the jail, she started Odisha textiles mills, begging 10 rupees valued share from various people from Cuttack. OTM was started. Then he started Kalinga tubes. The license or the NOC was issued by Government of India the same day for Tata tubes and Kalinga tubes. By the time Tatas started their factory construction, Kalinga tubes went to production. It was commissioned. And the Kalinga tubes started monopolizing the eastern countries. Then Biju Patnaik started the Odisha industries. Started manufacturing of refrigerators. He started Kalinga Iron Works at Badbil. This was the beginning of industrialization before he became Chief Minister of Odisha. So when he became Chief Minister, Government of India and Planning Commission gave emphasis on both agriculture and small-scale industries. By that time, natural leaders of the respective states were Chief Minister in their own states. Like Y.V. Chauhan in Maharashtra, Pratap Singh Kairon in Punjab, Dr. Bidhan Rai in West Bengal, Biju Patnaik in Odisha, and so on and so forth. Those leaders were natural leaders of their own states. So when Punjab started small-scale industries in Punjab, Biju Patnaik started Panchayat industries in Odisha in a very big way. Also, Green Revolution started. By that time, there was no assessment about that bauxite deposit. It was spoken by a respected speaker little before. By 77, bauxite deposit was not appropriately assessed in Odisha. In 54, though Biju Patnaik was an MLA but engaged himself in industries, he purchased a jeep out of his own pocket, gave it to Mr. Santanu Mahapatra, the youngest geologist available, to make a preliminary survey about bauxite deposit in Odisha, but it was not completed. Only in 77, when Janata Party government here and Biju Patnaik became Minister for Steel and Mines, the bauxite deposit was assessed and NALCO was imagined. Even the DPR was prepared. Everything was completed. In 1980, Janata Party government failed. And there was a caretaker government headed by Chaudhary Charan Singh. When Biju Patnaik invited the President of France to lay foundation stone for NALCO, let Y.V. Chauhan with 100 Congress MPs in opposition they made the President Sanjeev Reddy that a caretaker cannot take a heavy investment decision, so President funds could not come. In 80, when later Indira Gandhi took over again, within a month, President of France came and laid the foundation of NALCO. So, NALCO is the brainchild of late Biju Patnaik. So also that alumina in Damanjodi. NALCO is one of the pioneer industry in the country nowadays. And the policy was such, there was no opposition from the local people. Everybody accepted NALCO and its execution. But now, for every industry, we are finding opposition, obstruction. Why? Nobody is analyzing that. So regarding our own state, Odisha, because many of our corporate friends, those who are here, they might not be knowing what was Odisha and what is Odisha now. They might be visualizing something. And in the history of Indian history, first the people of this Udra Desha or Kalinga or Odisha, whatever you say, they were sailing outside the sea by boat, carrying 11 types of aromatic rice, fine textiles, filigree work, honey, etc. And that was the maritime trade. We had 50 ports. Wherever the river joins the sea, that was the sea mouth and that was a port. This was the glorious past of Odisha, and the warriors were not only entrepreneurs, they were also rich, very much rich. And Odisha was the gateway of India. But subsequently, for reasons not known, historical reasons, other natural calamities, many things, Odisha became poor. Odias became poor. Having abundant natural resources, and Odisha continued to be poor. Only when Biju Patnaik came to limelight, he started see Odisha prospers. With the help of Dr. A.N. Khosla, the then governor, who was the chief engineer of Hirakudu Dam, he prepared a blueprint how to change the fate of Odisha within a decade. And that blueprint named as the Decade of Destiny. In 1962, Biju Patnaik submitted that blueprint to Jawaharlal Nehru and dragged Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, to lay foundation stone of Paradip Port. There was no sanction or even preliminary research and planning commission to have a port here. But Jawaharlal Nehru gave foundation stone. Then many things he started. Education, we are backward. There was only one medical college. He established 2 more medical colleges. He established Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology. There was no engineering college. He started at a time 2 engineering colleges, one at Burla and one regional engineering college at Raurkela. But unfortunately, under Kamaraj's plan, he left power. Odisha remained as such till he became again Union Minister of Steel and Mines. He imagined NALCO and for a second steel plant at Raurkela on turnkey basis. He was criticized because the Morarji Desai government in their first cabinet meeting resolved that the Indian government will not go for a heavy investment decision looking into the economic condition of that time. So Biju Patnaik sent a technical team to study international steel market. After getting the report that till 2022, the steel market will be in upward trend, so he cleared the incompetitive Vizag steel plant and proposed to Government of India projects on turnkey basis. The investment will be made by outside or foreign investors with a condition that within 16 years they will get back their capital investment and the plant will belong to the Union government. But he was not allowed because there was a restriction for direct foreign investment. Because it was a proposal from Orissa, it could not be possible because after Jawaharlal Nehru, whatever proposal was submitted, it was not cleared by Union government, and out of anger, frustration, Biju Patnaik left Congress and started a regional party to fight out their cause at Government of India level. Therefore, NALCO could come. And again in the 90s, the same thing happened when he invited Swaraj Pal to have a steel plant at Kalinganagar. It was also obstructed because foreign investment was not allowed by Government of India. Then he asked for fiscal autonomy. He told openly, Odisha is rich, but my Odias are poor, I cannot tolerate this. In many countries with many people, lot of money is available. In my state, lot abundant resources are available, natural resources are available. Directly I will invite them. I will make industrialization and I will drive out poverty and I will make Odisha wealthy. But it was also not possible. But fortunately now you see Odisha. I was talking about that small scale industries. Punjab does not have Mittal, POSCO, Jindal or Aditya Birla. But Punjabis are seen in international market in their small scale industries products. Odisha had that dream, Panchayat industry. We do not find the shade of it here. He established Chamber of Commerce to help trade and industries, commerce and industry. 50 years have passed. He established a mining corporation, Industrial Development Corporation, IDC, lot of corporation with the intention that the individual in Odisha does not have money, so we must derive institutional finance. For that, corporations were established one after another. I do not know, Mr. Shashwat Mishra was expected to be here on behalf of Mining Corporation. He would have given you the picture. So this is the situation. Of late, Naveen Patnaik government passed or announced this MSME Development Policy 2009. This policy has got a lot of dreams. Many corporate houses are now available in Odisha with their mega industries. What are the downstream industries possible? What are the small scale or micro industries are possible? It is now under feasibility study. And if these corporate houses, they cooperate, within 10 years, Odisha can have a visible development in small scale and medium scale units in the state if it is goes smooth. 4 years back, as Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Animal and Fisheries, I prepared a prospective plan, 10 years prospective plan for fisheries development and dairy development. I also invited Monubhai Desai's Bharata Agrodairy Foundation to help us in dairy development. I also prepared in the prospective plan, I indicated that within 10 years, we will take 10,000 hectares for sweetwater pisciculture or inland fishing and 10,000 hectares for brackish water pisciculture. Somebody was telling here, the last time we exported more than 700 crores worth marine fish to outside the country. The European Union told us that unless you make your fishing harbors, landing stations, jetties in international standard, we will not import your marine fish. For that purpose also, I drew a line how to develop it. It is yet to be given a shape. In Dhamra port, the fishing harbor is somehow better. The pioneer fishing harbor at Paradip is a very bad shape. Lot of feasibilities are there. We have not utilized it appropriately. Fishing harbor at Bahabalpur is yet to be seen. But feasibility is 480 kilometer sea coast. Andhra coast is saturated. West Bengal coast is unsafe. Orissa coast is even now in a virgin state. We have not yet exploited it appropriately. Similarly, we have got enormous feasibility on agriculture development. 10 favorable agroclimatic zone, 1482 millimeter annual rainfall. The water wealth available in the state, 67% of the water available, it is going to the sea without use. But we are quarreling when industrialists are asking for water. Our planners in the state, they do not visualize that 67% water is going to the sea without use, and we are not arresting it for industrial purpose and agriculture purpose. So we are hammering on our natural resources. Large number of MOUs for steel industries, power projects, coal blocks, 36 coal blocks from Orissa has been allotted to various private and government companies by Government of India within last 10 years. And you know about that coal gate. So fortunately, the Utkal Chamber of Commerce, they are trying to revamp while celebrating their Golden Jubilee celebration. While they are celebrating their Golden Jubilee, I would appeal them to think who, why started Utkal Chamber of Commerce in 1964. What was his vision and what we are doing now. This is the position. We have got large number of small scale industries registered. But what we expect, they are not up to the standard. They need encouragement from the state government departments. The state government should be the largest buyer of small industry products. It is not happening. And I am the poor minister, they are fighting and fighting, not able to succeed. And Chamber of Commerce is also not emphasizing on this, not fighting. Because everybody is engaged for their individual benefit, individual opportunity, not collective approach is there. With a heavy heart I am telling this. So, IOCL is coming up there. What I know, when it will be commissioned, at least 67 types of downstream industries could be possible there. And most of the land within close proximity of IOCL project have been purchased by people from outside the state. Those entrepreneurs, they are visualizing that what type of downstream industry we can set up. Nobody is interested in Odisha to sensitize their younger generation to become entrepreneur in the future, to take advantage of the feasibility created by these mega industries in the state. This is the pity. So, our beloved chairman is very much here, recently I joined in Paradip Port. We are taking credit that cargo handling in Paradip, it is so much, we are making profit of so much. How? We are exporting our iron ore, our coal, what we are getting, what cargo, general cargo we are receiving at Paradip Port. That is not being calculated. So there are a lot of things. Odisha cannot be poor. It is for centuries Odisha is rich. But the centuries Odias are poor. We have to change this scenario. Odisha is rich, Odias should be prosperous and rich. It can be possible if there is a determination. I know my friend Ramesh Mahapatra is quite wealthy now, but by exporting my prawn, I belong to Paradip. I continue to be poor, but he is getting rich, taking my prawn. This is the scenario. We transmitted Buddhism outside the sea. We are the people. We had our existence. Should I tell you one thing, a small thing? Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Malaysia. 60 kilometers away, there is a small place called Keelong. From Kalinga, it has become Keelong. There is a small museum. Even now you can go and see. You see there, the traditional Odisha's Pano Botua, Guakati, Chunno Khai, Macho Dorante Onduli, Mugura, Barampuri Patobastro, Ebon Talapatre, entire Ramayana Patachitra. Go and see. When you will see it, what you are feeling? There will be a thrill inside your heart that my forefathers are doing this and what I am doing there. So, with these words, I will conclude with hope that our friends, those who are sitting in my front, from Utkal Chamber of Commerce, dealing with small scale, medium scale enterprises, they will take into heart that we can be prosperous, we can be rich, we can be big industrial houses, because we have got all feasibility available with us, all raw material available with us. With these words, I conclude. I thank Mr. Ramesh Mahapatra. He dragged me here.